everyone, my name is Lucia Umeki Martinez and my pronouns are they, she, he. And I would like you to join me in celebrating this year's graduates from the class of 2021. This is our second annual graduation where we honor the accomplishments of Santa Cruz County's queer and trans individuals. Today we're going to hear from some queer and trans graduates, queer professionals, as well as watch some amazing performances from queer artists. Oftentimes, as queer and trans individuals, we face extra barriers and challenges and obstacles. There's great strength in navigating all those barriers and challenges, but especially as a young person where you're figuring out yourself and your identity and how you fit into this world that isn't always accepting. This year there was the added difficulty of the pandemic and everything having to go virtual, and a lot of kids, especially closeted kids, losing those safe spaces. And my heart goes out to all of those closeted kids that are stuck at homes with unaccepting families and not ideal situations. So the Safe Schools Project and I are thinking of you. The theme of this year's graduation is creating safe spaces in our local universe. And with the pandemic this year and everything having to go virtual, it's really emphasized the need for safe spaces in our communities. And I know that some of us have found these safe spaces and others have not. So we at the Safe Schools Project want to let all the closeted kids know that we're thinking of you, that we love you, and that there's hope. On a more lighthearted note, this year we asked everyone what their favorite dinosaur is. Mine's a Brachiosaurus. It is an understatement to say that our graduating class has borne extremely difficult experiences up until this moment, which is why it's so important for us to celebrate where and who we are, not only as graduates and queer people, but so much more. We want to commend all of the hard work our LGBTQIA+ students have been doing to create safer campuses in our community, and we want to take the time to honor them as they reach their academic milestones. And while we are beginning to process the physical reunion of our community, we also must remember to protect the unvaccinated and the vulnerable. With all of that in mind, we have planned a virtual celebration to honor our 2021 graduates together and allow for their friends and family to join us in watching the celebration. To start us off, please welcome our keynote speaker, Jorge Pacheco Jr. Jorge Pacheco Jr. is an Indigenous Native Studies teacher, president at the California Latino School Boards Association, president at the Oak Grove School District Board of Education, and co-founder of the Digital Equity Coalition.
Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Pacheco Jr. My pronouns are he, him, his. My favorite dinosaur is the Velociraptor, and I'm the president of the California Latino School Boards Association, Oak Grove School District Board of Education, an elementary and middle school Native Studies teacher for the last 8 years, and a proud member of the LGBTQ community. I am honored to be addressing you today for the second annual LGBTQIA+ graduation celebration of Santa Cruz County on your special day as you graduate from one life stage to the next in your educational careers during a global pandemic, no less. If this last year you've had has been anything like what my little sister, who just graduated high school, has experienced, this was one of the hardest and scariest years of your life. With COVID-19 ravaging our communities, all while being expected to focus on your studies, work part-time jobs for some of you, staying connected with your friends, staying safe from an invisible and dangerous virus, taking care of siblings or sick family members at home, discovering more about who you are, coming out of the closet, staying in the closet, dealing with loss and death, celebrating new life and hope, all of that happening at the exact same time. Courage. That is what defines what you've gone through, who you are, and what you will need to continue your successes, your learnings, and your futures. Courage in being who you are. There is nothing more powerful than that. Which is why I thank the universe every single day for being born gay. My own source of strength and courage that has fueled my drive to keep fighting for justice every chance that I get. When I was in high school, my parents pulled me out of the closet by force. I wasn't ready at the time and went back into the closet months later. I knew I was gay since I was in elementary school, but as a kid, had to navigate a world that wasn't ready to accept me for who I was. Whether being in the closet or out, an issue that affected my family so deeply while I was in high school, it took courage to go through all of that. That is why at 27, I ran for my local school board so that I could become the first LGBTQ trustee for the Oak Grove School District and create the spaces that I needed as a kid for other LGBTQ kids in our elementary and middle schools. Identity matters, representation matters, we matter. So, my advice to you as you transition from this stage to the next is to remember that you are the luckiest people in the world for being born LGBTQIA, and to use that self love as a source of power and strength. It took me over 23 years to learn that lesson, and when I did learn it, I learned to wield my identity with pride, and it bestowed me with a courage that helped me become the first LGBTQ trustee for the Oak Grove School District, where I'm now fighting every day for kids like you, for people like me. You already have all of the necessary tools to change your communities for the better, to be your own source of strength, of power, of courage needed to navigate the unknown like how I did when I was your age. Congratulations on graduating, for making us all proud, for simply being you. We are cheering you on every step of the way.
Queerness is everywhere, and along with it can come success, professionalism, fulfilling careers, and plentiful lives. Let's hear from some queer professionals as they congratulate this year's graduates.
Congratulations to the LGBTQIA plus
queer, trans, and gender expansive
graduating class of 2021.
2021! Woohoo!
Y'all are absolutely incredible.
And I want to thank you in advance.
My name is Michael Vargas, and I'm an attorney in Silicon Valley and a law professor at Santa Clara University Law School.
My name is Brian Arau. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm the Associate Dean of Students at UC Santa Cruz and a very proud member of the Santa Cruz queer community.
Hi, my name is Melissa Bernstein. Me llamo Melissa Bernstein. My pronouns are she, her, y ella también. Soy una consejera. I am part of the queer community and I'm a dyke. Y yo soy parte de la comunidad queer y yo soy una jota.
My name is Gabby Preciado, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm the program coordinator at the Leonel Cantu Queer Resource Center at UC Santa Cruz. I identify as queer, and I'm so honored to get to celebrate my fellow queer community for such a special occasion. Thank you so much for having me.
My name is Venus. My pronouns are they, them, she, her. You might know me from riding my bike around town with my rainbow flags. I work at the information kiosk as a concierge, and I get to answer questions and I get to help people find what they're looking for.
My name is Jen Salinas Holtz. My pronouns are she and her. I work as a site computer support technician for the Pajaro Valley Unified School District, where I also have the great fortune of being an advisor for 4 middle school and elementary school GSA and QSA clubs. I'm also a queer person and a parent of 2 PVUSD students.
As a queer person, we are always called upon to create safe spaces in everything we do. In my legal career, I serve as the chair of LGBTQ2+ involvement in the American Bar Association's business law section. My role is to make sure that LGBTQ+ business lawyers around the country feel welcomed and included in the nation's largest legal association. Whether we want to or not, we are all called upon at some point in our careers to be that person who opens the door for others.
Being queer has had a huge impact on my profession. I kind of fell into being a GSA advisor as part of my job for so many reasons, but one is that I know it would have made a huge difference for me to have a GSA or QSA club in high school even, but in elementary or middle school would have been life-changing for me. Being queer has given me a different perspective in so many ways.
We are very aware of how toxic this culture is that we're living in. And if you're healthy, you have anxiety at times and sadness at times. Mi perspectiva en mi profesión es un poquito diferente porque yo pienso que nuestra cultura es tóxica, pues cuando hay una persona quien es queer y eres saludable, Hay veces que nosotros tenemos ansiedad or somos triste, and este es saludable.
My high school experience was complicated. I was both a competitive athlete and an openly gay student.
I graduated from high school right here in Santa Cruz County 25 years ago. I was deeply closeted and never considered coming out because most of what I heard about queerness was negative.
I was not out yet. It was very clear in my family that it was not okay to be gay. So even though those thoughts were in the back of my head, I really did not let myself entertain them.
You guys just went through high school. It's not easy. You get through it.
I made it out of high school. That was the best part. Just like you guys. Woo!
There was virtually no queer visibility and very few queer role models at my high school.
I had a very homophobic parent who made it clear that it wasn't okay to be gay.
And I know that I lost out on a lot of opportunities because of that.
But I'm 52 years old, and it was a different world then. We had different tools available at the time.
It would have made a big difference to have even one adult in my school environment telling me that it was okay to be myself.
And now my high school has a strong commitment to supporting LGBTQ plus students. They even celebrate Pride Month with school-wide events.
So I'm really grateful to see how much has changed, that we have an LGBTQIA plus graduation celebration, that we have so many amazing queer young leaders in this community.
What an absolutely wild past year and a half it's been. Y'all have survived through so much, and here you are, advancing in your education and leaving evidence of your strength, your resiliency, and your brilliance. I'm so in awe and so proud of all of you.
One of the reasons that I chose my profession is that it is so queer positive. Some of the first queer role models I ever encountered and developed relationships with were the student affairs educators I met during my time in college. They helped me to envision something I just couldn't see, I could never imagine before then, which was a life in which I could be out, happy, and fulfilled, both personally and professionally.
I have had to advocate for having a safe space in my work environment. I've been in the working world for over 20 years, so I've had many job experiences, and I have often been the only queer person or the only out queer person in my workplace.
Sometimes I'm the first queer person someone's ever spoken to, and I love dismissing those myths and stereotypes, dispelling them, and giving them an experience that they didn't expect, that was cheerful, where they felt good and safe and validated. And that's all we want back, right?
One year, we were able to change anti-discrimination against the gender-expansive trans community on a state level. I went to the executive director and I was like, excuse me, do you think you could change the paperwork here? Because we're still waiting. And so they changed it.
I came out when I was 20, and I vowed to never be closeted at work. That's been really important to me. And also, once I became a parent, it was so important to me to model that for my children.
This year's theme is about creating safer spaces in our communities. And I think that's such an important idea to center in our lives in general. How can we think about safety in more intentional ways? Are we talking about physical safety, emotional safety? And what do those things actually mean? I invite you all to reflect on those questions. When, how, and with whom do you feel safe? What about those people and or spaces makes you feel that way? And how can you replicate that in your own life for yourself and for other people? When you know what makes you feel safe, when we know what makes us feel safe, we can communicate that and model those behaviors for others and for ourselves. And that will support us in building safer communities overall for everyone.
My favorite species of dinosaur is the pterodactyl. I have always been fascinated by the idea of a flying dinosaur. Plus, it's the pink Power Rangers dinosaur, which automatically makes it even cooler and even queerer.
My favorite dinosaur is Barney. Mi dinosaurio favorito es Barney.
I guess it would be the really, really big one. The one that's larger than a brontosaurus, because they stick out.
Giving a shout out to the pterodactyl. And the thing I love about the pterodactyl is that it actually leads me to something that I love seeing on Westcliff Drive. and that is the beautiful pelican flock that comes and cruises by, and they always make me think of pterodactyls.
I suppose my favorite species of dinosaur is a Democratic member of Congress.
My advice for this year's graduates is to work on figuring out who you are, what matters most to you, and what you like doing, even if your answers don't align with what other people say you should be doing. If you build your life around what's true to your heart, you'll not only be positioned to do great things in the world, but you'll be healthier and happier too.
Mi consejo a la gente que está graduando es hace lo más que usted gusta y pone su atención en esto. Y si no le gusta alguna cosa, no pone mucho atención. So focus on what works for you and do that more. And when something does not work for you, do it less.
My advice to you is simple. Be queer. Lean into it. Embrace it. Live your life on your terms. Bring your whole self to the office. Bring a spouse or two to the neighborhood barbecue. Get married or don't. Have kids or don't. Live unapologetically queer. And then challenge everything we know about sex, gender, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Millions of LGBTQ Americans set the stage for you. We rioted and marched. We protested and cajoled our lawmakers. We filed lawsuits. We lobbied Congress. Each of us put down a stone in the path toward a more just and equal society. And now it's your turn. Own your queerness, take pride in it, and then live it.
Follow your heart and follow your dreams. Be kind and make smart choices for yourself. If you stay on that groovy path, everything's going to be fine.
My hope is that each and every one of you has at least one place and one person where you feel safe, seen, and heard. And I hope that that community of folks continues to grow for you.
It's hard to be yourself in a world where people are telling you that it's not okay to be different, but there's nothing more important than being yourself and having the confidence to insist that other people accept and embrace you for who you are. My favorite quote is by Maya Angelou. Develop the courage to stand up for yourself and then stand up for someone else. So I'm here for all of you. I think it's amazing to be an out queer person graduating from high school. Your whole life is ahead of you, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Please know that you are so loved and valued just as you are. I'm so, so proud of you. Congratulations, class of 2021.
I'm proud of and inspired by you.
Stay beautiful and definitely change the world. I am standing by to see what you do, and I can't wait. Love you guys. Congratulations.
Ladies, non-binary people, gents and all, please give a round of applause to your drag queen, Blue DeStefano, who will be performing to RuPaul's Congratulations.
Straighten up, assume the position. Eagle-eyed, assess the competition. Hey, hey, you fought the fight with all your might. Something to prove. You gave your heart right from the start. So proud of you. Congratulations, you're number one. I wanna thank you for a job well done. Congratulations, it's so much fun. Now let me tell you all the prizes you have won. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Hello, my gorgeous kings, queens, and in-betweens. My name is Blue. I'm 14 years old, non-binary, and I am a drag queen. Today, I'm here to wish you a big congratulations on graduating. I wish you all the best in this transitional phase in your lives and can't wait to see what you do with those big, beautiful lives of yours.
And let's give another warm welcome to UCSA's Lionel Cantu Queer Center Program Coordinator, Gabby Preciado. From the wonderful class of 2021, please enjoy Marie Harrison from SoCal High and Watsonville High's Adrian Elizalde as they share their experiences being LGBTQIA+ high school graduates.
My name is Marie Harrison, and I'm a graduate of SoCal High School. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm a proud advocate for the asexual and aromantic communities. My favorite dinosaur is a brontosaurus. I wanted to start this off by saying congratulations to my fellow graduates of 2021, whether you're moving on to high school or the next great beyond of college and adulthood. It has been a tough few years, but we did it. We made it through. On to the next big adventure. My main inspiration is my younger siblings. They're the only reason I've gotten as far as I have. We lived a life of struggle for a long time, and I wanted to prove to them that it is possible to succeed and do things you love while being true to who you are and being compassionate to others. I'm also motivated by my desire to help people explore who they want to be and being comfortable in that. In that vein is why I'm thinking of becoming a therapist in the future. I've always enjoyed psychology, and helping people walk through their emotions has always come easily to me. I think it's the best way I can help as many people as possible. To future graduates, I just want to tell you I'm proud of you. No matter your background, no matter what you like or who you like, or how easy or hard it was for you to get here, or how sure you are of your next steps, I'm proud that you've made it this far because there are plenty of people who haven't. Your strength and resilience is admirable, and you deserve to be proud of yourself too. My senior quote this year was, "Doors are for people with no imagination." I love this quote. It's from my favorite childhood series that got me through some of the hardest times of my life. In the book, it's meant fairly literally. One of the characters just doesn't like going through doors because he prefers to be contrarian. But, as it turns out, the quote helped shape who I am today. Because I have a path laid out for me by my family and my circumstances, and instead of following that path, I found a window and climbed through that instead. That's what I'd say to my younger self and to everybody listening. It may seem completely unconventional, but we're all queer here. Unconventional is what we do. Find your window. Embrace climbing through it. And don't be ashamed, even if people ask you why, because there is nothing more inspiring than choosing your own path for yourself. Thank you.
My name is Adrian Elizalde. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I graduated from Watsonville High School and am now part of the class of 2025 for Yale. And I am transmasc. I would say my favorite species of dinosaur is the Stegosaurus. My main source of inspiration that motivates me to succeed is, it almost seems bad to say, but spite. Everybody kind of looks at us like we're not going to make it. We've always been on the fringes of society, and I'm tired of not seeing people like us accurately represented as real human beings and not caricatures or dehumanizing offenses. And I want to be one of those people that humanizes us and gives other people chances to see a real version of us, not only for ourselves but for others. For the future, I'm thinking about becoming a creative writer. I really love spoken word poetry, but I think I'm going to try to go into writing for animated series and projects like that. To future queer graduates, I would like to say, as bad as it sounds, there may not be an institution that really values you, values us. And same thing with my answer about doing things out of spite. They should. They should value you, and they should value all of us together. And you listening when they say you're not worth anything helps nobody but the people who think you're not good. So be good, do good, try your hardest, and I'm proud of you. If I were to give advice to my younger self, I would say take a break. Not everything needs to be written on your arm. Not every due date is as concrete as you believe it to be. You aren't going to die or combust if you turn a thing in 30 minutes after its due date. Just breathe. It'll save us some panic attacks. I'm not quite sure what my senior quote ended up being because the yearbook was a bit weird this year, but it is either something that my grandpa said, which was, "You've got gas now, don't get in trouble with it," or a quote from Janae Johnson in her spoken word piece, Ode to My Ripped Pants, and that is to say, I tried being obedient once, and I liked being a poet a little bit more.
Thank you to all for joining us and applauding the hard work and progress of our upcoming queer and trans leaders. Have a great summer and enjoy all that the world has to offer. You deserve it. Bye.
Come get your prize. Get your prize. Congratulations, you're number one. I wanna thank you for a job well done. Congratulations, it's so much fun. Now let me tell you all the prizes you have won. Congratulations, you're number one. I wanna thank you for a job well done. Congratulations, it's so much fun. Now let me tell you all the prizes you have won. Congratulations, 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 congratulations.